After an almost 13-year wait, we finally got a new Final Destination film this year with the release of Final Destination Bloodlines. This year, in the lead up to Bloodlines, I finally watched all of the Final Destination films in order. Previously, I had only seen one and the Final Destination, so it was cool to watch them all in the lead up to the new film. I am a fan of the series. I pretty much like every movie in the series, but I've got my opinions, so today we are going to do the Final Destination franchise ranked. I'm Josh from Just Mash. Let's figure it out. Final Destination 2. For me, last place comes with Final Destination 2. I think it's probably tied with another film for the worst in the series, but for me, it's my least favorite. Now, of course, it gets points for Clear Rivers, and I'm all for Ali Larter's supremacy, but ultimately, I don't really like the plot of the film, and I don't like the way that they treat Clear in it, and also I don't like the fact that Alex from the first film gets an off-screen death. This film also kind of stands out because of its non-conventional ending for the franchise. It's not something that the other ones really do in the way that they treat their two main characters. I don't know, for me it just kind of sticks out amongst the rest, and it's my least favorite. The premonition is good, though. I do like the highway scene. I think that that's done really well. The Final Destination. Now, the Final Destination, Final Destination 4, to me it is tied with the second film for worst quality, and I think most people would generally agree that it is the worst film in the franchise, but I have a sentimental attachment to it. It's the first Final Destination film that I saw back when it came out, so I've always kind of had an affinity for it, and I actually love the racetrack premonition. I think it's awesome. It's so wacky, it's so out of the box, but it's so unique and different from everything else that the franchise does. The kills aren't necessarily the best, although the swimming pool one is kind of nuts, but I actually really do like this film, and also like the ending a lot. The way that they kind of do the three fake-outs with the premonitions at the end, I think is a really interesting way to do it. I like the movie theater setting, I like the mall setting, and just in general, the way they do carnage in this film is really fun to me. I also like the X-ray stuff showing the deaths and what it looks like on the inside. That's cool. Final Destination 5. This one's probably the most middle of the road for me. I mean, I like all of the films, but I don't particularly love or hate this one. It's just kind of in the middle. Spoilers for Final Destination 5. But I actually really love the prequel aspect, and I love the way that they don't tell you that it's a prequel. They leave clues, but even the clues, they're not like hammering it over your head that it takes place in the past. And all of that is paid off completely with the ending of the film. I like the characters a lot in this film, and the film does have some good deaths, but ultimately it's my least favorite premonition in the film with the bridge. I don't know, something about it just doesn't connect with me as much. Final Destination Bloodlines. Final Destination Bloodlines was awesome. I really liked the way that they subverted the formula and expectations of the film while also staying within the box of it. By having the premonition take place by someone who's not a main character, someone who's really not in the film that much, I thought was very interesting, and having her also prevent what happens was really cool. From then on, the way that they looked at the family tree and the bloodlines and figuring out who goes next and why and when and where was really interesting to me. I also really liked the kills. I think the garbage truck kill was cool, the MRI death was insane. Even the ending was good. I'm happy to say that the newest film in the franchise, which doesn't happen often in horror films, is actually a really good one. Final Destination. Final Destination 1, it's the film that kicked it all off. Probably the best actual film in the franchise, the best acting, the best writing, and ultimately it introduces us to the formula, so it gets points for that. I think Alex is a really good protagonist, and his chemistry with Clear is really good as well. Also, Sean William Scott, the 2000 soundtrack. Everything about it is fun and atmospheric. The deaths in it are great. The airplane premonition is great. Even the ending of the film is great. I'm also a sucker for the story trope of taking characters that have nothing to do with each other, completely different personalities, none of them like each other, and forcing them to work together and grow a camaraderie throughout the film. Final Destination 3. It's not a unique opinion to say that Final Destination 3 is the best of the series. It's a pretty common thought. But that's because it's great. The roller coaster premonition is probably the best in the franchise. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is probably the best protagonist in the franchise. I love the amusement park theme, the roller coaster. Everything about it is so cool and unique and different. Using the pictures on the camera to figure out who goes next is a really cool, unique way to do it. And on top of that, the film both has the best death in the franchise with the tanning bed scene, and the best ending of the franchise with the train. If I had to rewatch any of the films right now, it would be Final Destination 3. Now, I really like these movies after watching them all. I think this is a franchise with limitless potential. There's so much you could do with this film. You could tap into completely different genres, different types of horror, different settings for the premonitions. There's a lot that you could do. I don't know how well Final Destination Bloodlines did at the box office. I don't know that it warrants a sequel. I don't know how successful it was. But I, for one, would love to see one of these movies happen every 3 years. Let me know in the comments what you think of my rankings. Give me your rankings. What do you think is the best and worst Final Destination film? Be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. I'm Josh from Smash. Until next time.